Hey guys, Prison here. I want to profile my zombie deck profile for you guys for the May 2020 format. It's a deck that I really enjoyed, that I worked hollow out. I hope you guys enjoy. My deck's probably different than a lot of the people's. That's fine. People don't like it, they do. This is how I like playing the deck though. I play 3 Glow Up Bloom just because I want to be able to see my play starters as fast as possible. So I would like it to have it in my hand so I can discard it. I want it to be able to send from deck. It's a really good card. If you send it to the graveyard, you can banish him, and then you can add a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to hand. Or if zombie rolls on the field, you can special summon it from your deck, which is really important. And then your next play starter I run 2 of is 2 Necroblood Banshee. It's quick effect. You can banish yourself from the grave or field to activate a zombie world from your deck or hand, which is really cool. Gives you kind of insurance. And then I run 2 of the big boss, 2 Doom King Ballardrox. He's really good. When a zombie monster activates effect, you can banish a monster on your opponent's side of the field or graveyard, or negate that effect. Which with Zombie World out, it makes all their opponent's monsters zombies, so it's really good. Also, another effect he has is if you have a field spell during the standby phase, you can special summon him from in defense position from your grave, so he's recursion too, which is really good. Those are the main important ones of the deck. One of the other boss monsters, I play 3 Jackal Bolon because I don't play any dangers, so this is my discard outlet. Really good card. You can discard a zombie monster and special summon them, and then a quick effect during your opponent's main phase, you can banish him and special zombie from either graveyard. So what's cool is he can force the activation of your Ballardrox and trigger it during your opponent's turn without them having to do anything, which is cool. And then if zombie rolls out, you can start special summoning things from your opponent's grave. And you can also target himself with his own effect, which is cool. So like if you have Jackal Bolon on grave, and you have one on field, you can banish him to special summon your other copy. So then if they kill the one, you'll have him for next turn. So he just keeps recurring too. So you can bounce out of the way of your opponent. And what's cool is if you don't have zombie rolled out, that's why I'm playing 3 Glow Up Bloom too, because I have a lot of targets in the deck for the effect. With this guy, if you don't have zombie rolled out, you can banish him and add a level 5 higher zombie from deck to hand. So you can add Jackal Bolon to hand and then continue comboing, which is cool. And then the other boss I play is 2 Fraulein. Vampire Fraulein is really good. When an opponent's monster declares an attack on a zombie, you can special summon it, and then you can pay life points in multiples of 100 up to 3,000, and your battling monster gains that much attack and defense. And then if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon it to your field. So it's really cool, is you can play it to stop your opponent from getting over like a Ballardrox or decaying you, and then during your turn you can switch to attack and beat over anything less than 3,600 if you want to pay that much life points and take it. So really cool. So yeah, we have 7 targets for the 3 Glow Up Blooms, which is really good. And then for play starters, I play 3 Shirinui Solitaire. You contribute 1 zombie type monster, special summon a zombie with tuner zombie tuner with 0 defense from the deck. Sorry guys. And your target for that is your 3 Unizombie. Here's the fact: you can target a face-up monster on the field. You discard a card and you increase that target's level by 1. And then you can target a face-up monster in the field. Only zombies can attack. And you can send a zombie from your deck. So what's really good is if you have at least 1 of these in your hand, Glow Up Bloom or Necroblood Banshee, and then the others obviously in the deck. You can target himself, make him a 4, like discard. You honestly want to send Banshee first. So let's say Banshee's in your hand, discard her, make him a 4, banish him and play the field spell. And then you can send this from deck and make him a 5, and then play Ballardrox and go into your Vampire Sucker play, which is really good. And also you can synchro too with him as well. What's that's like really cool is you can play him, and then if you can send Mizuki from the deck to grave, make him a 4, you can use Mizuki to play your Solitaire back from grave and then synchro summon with him to make an 8, which is cool. Or he's a 3, so you can make 7, which is relevant. That's your play starter. And then I played 2 Gozuki. I did have 1. I bumped it up to 2. He's like a Foolish Burial. During your main phase, you can send a zombie-type monster from deck to grave. So he's another way to start your combos. The other cool thing, though, which is why I bumped it to 2, is if you send to the graveyard, you can banish a zombie-type monster other than him and special summon 1 from hand. So he kind of helps you combo and extend, which is really cool. And then I played 3 Mizuki, his partner in crime, because Mizuki... really good in the deck. It's not once per turn, so you can banish him from the graveyard and then target a zombie type monster in the grave and special summon the target, which is really good. So like you can just keep sending copies of him and then banishing him to special summon more stuff. It's kind of nuts. And that's it for the zombies. For the non-zombies, I play the 1 O-Lion for the Needle Fiber plays, and then the 1 Dragon Buster for the Hanger plays. So these can be bricks, but they're really good when you do get them off your combos. I'm not playing any hand traps in this build. I know Ash is pretty good. I just opted not to play it in the build I'm playing. I have 3 zombie worlds that makes the deck good, so I want to have 3 copies to make sure I have one at all times. All monsters on the field and every graveyard are zombies. And nobody contributes to my monsters except zombies, which is a neat little thing against True Draco. 1 terraforming. That's why I'm only playing 2 Banshee, because I have the 1 terraforming to search it out. So I'm basically playing 6 copies of Zombie World, which is great. And because this deck can play this card better than any other deck, I play 3 Super Polys, because you can just go into your Nether Soul Dragon, just takes 2 zombies, and since Zombie World makes everything zombies, you can use it on any monster your opponent controls, which is cool. Play the 1 Foolish Burial, just to send your play starters, your Banshee to get Zombie World, your Bloom to get Ballard Rock, and then my last 2 spells are Cosmic Cyclone. Really good right now, especially against Eldritch. You just pay 1,000, you target spell trap in the field and banish it. It's also pretty good against Mystic Bind, so gets around the field barrier. Really good card, and it's quick play. You usually side the 3rd. I debate on running a 3rd in the main, but if you go up against Adamancipator or decks that you really don't need backer removal until like game 2 and 3, you don't want to see this card a lot. So 2, you're most likely to draw into it. 3, you're not going to see it, you're not going to break off of it, which is good. And then I play, for traps, 3 Rivalry. I know 3 can be cloggy, but I really want to open this in Zombie World. It basically makes it so your opponent can't access anything in their extra deck or special summon anything that's not zombie type, which Zombie World makes it a zombie. So unless you're playing against a zombie deck, once they summon something, they're locked out of their extra deck and out of special summoning and whatever else, because those cards aren't originally zombies in your hand or your extra deck, which is really good. And for you, it doesn't hurt you at all. So it's just free. And then the last card I run, which I feel like is stable for a lot of control decks now, is 3 Solemn Judgment, because Lightning Storm hurts. So does Evenly. If that happens, you kind of just lose. So you want to have an answer to stop those cards for going second deck. So I feel like that's great to just protect your Zombie World. You can stop summons, trap spells, whatever you need evenly. So yeah, that's my main deck, guys. It is 40 cards. We'll go on to my extra deck. I play 1 Linkuriboh. You can use it to get rid of your Glow Up Bloom, and then banish it to play Ballard Rock, and I play the 1 Anima, because I am playing 3 copies of it, so if your opponent does mess up and put a monster in the extra deck monster zone, or in front of it, you can link off your Bloom, take your opponent's monster, and then use Bloom to play Ballard Rock, and then link from there, because it'll be a zombie with Zombie World out, so really good. For my link 2s, I play the 1 Crystron Halqifibrax, really good if he's linked something special level 2 or lower tuner, which is your O-line, and the reason why I play O-line is when he leaves the field he makes a token. So what's cool in this deck is you can make a lot of link plays by going into him and then playing the O-line and then getting rid of the O-line and somebody or him to link off. It just depends on your situation, honestly, with how your combos will go. But another cool thing with Halqifibrax is your Glow Up Bloom is a level 1. So it's level 3 or lower tuner, so he counts. So you can play him from the deck and then link him off in one of these guys, or use him for link summon for something else. Like, let's say you go Vampire Sucker if you have Zombie World out, and then you can banish it and play Ballard Rock. So it's another way to get into your Ballard Rock, which is really cool. Play the 1 Union Carrier, because your Ballard Rock is the dark, so is your Glow Up Bloom. You're trying to end on him, so if you end on like a Ballard Rock with this like Union Carrier, you can also equip the Dragon Buster Sword, since it is a dark to him, and then it locks them out of the extra deck as well, so it's another thing on top of Rivalry to stop your opponent, which is cool. Or, if you have a dark, like let's say you have a Unizombie out on your board, or a Banshee, or a Fraulein, they're all dark, you can use it to equip a Bloom to them from your deck, and then, when it dies or link it off, whatever else, then you can banish that Bloom from your grave and play your Ballard Rock, which is another way to get your plays going. Play the 1 Barricade Board Blocker, because it protects your Zombie World, and you can also add your Zombie World back from your graveyard to your hand by discarding a card. It's a discard outlet to get your play starters out of your hand. play the 1 Avenger and Savior. He kind of helps your deck get rolling. A really good card. If it battles a monster, you can send a zombie from your deck to grave, and then that opponent's monster it's battling loses attack times 100 times its level. Or 200 times its level. I'm sorry, guys. It's like you could drop a Ballardrock in a grave, and they'll lose 1600 attack, and then it'll special summon itself during the next turn. You can drop your Banshee or your Bloom. So, really good card for whatever situation you need it for. And then I'm still playing the 1 Sucker. I was playing 2 for a long time, because last format you did get in a lot of situations where Sucker and Ballardrock was enough, so you want to go into it again to just gain advantage. Now, it's kind of a good thing to go into if you don't have very much else, just so the next turn when you play the Sucker, you can link off like whatever you have in Ballardrock while Zombie World's out, and then Ballardrock will special summon itself during your opponent's turn, which triggers Vampire Sucker's effect to draw, because the zombie is special summoned from grave, and that since the zombie effect activated will trigger your Ballardrock, so it'll be able to do something right on your opponent's next turn, which is cool. I'm still debating on playing 1 or 2. If I did add the second one back in, I'd probably take the Anima out, but I don't know yet. But the 1 is at least good. You can at least use it 1 time in the match. I'm playing the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, just to pop spells and traps, 1 Unicorn, 2 shuffle back targets, and boss monsters, whatever you need. And then I'm trying out the new Yuki-Onna, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. This card's interesting. It takes 2+ zombie monsters. I'll make sure I say this right for you guys. It negates any activation effects of your opponent's banished monsters, which is cool. So if you go up against like Orcus and things of that nature, it stops their effects, or like Giant Rex and Dinosaur decks. And if a monster is special from the graveyard or a monster effect's activated in the grave, you can target one of the face-up monsters in the field, change its attack to 0, and negate its effects, which is cool. So like if they do a big play, or try to activate something, then you can also make something's attack 0, negate its effects, and then you can beat over it. So it's a pretty good monster, and against a lot of decks nowadays that use the graveyard, it kind of cuts that off, which I think is important. It's 2900, which is not bad. So that is my big length 4 for the deck. On to the synchros. This is my Halqifibrax target. I'm still testing it. I like it. Desert Locust. When it's synchro summon, the turn player discards a card. So if you tribute him, sometimes you won't get to use this, but you're really not that tight on extra deck space in this deck. So I ended up putting it in. So like if you can't do a big play with Halqifibrax, you can tribute him off and play the Locust, so you get a 2400 body. And then it also discards a card out of your opponent's hand, which is cool. So depending on what place you are in the game, that can really help. You can hit something they need. So yeah. Card I'm working with. Other people use like TG Wonder Magician, which can destroy a spell or trap. It's whatever you like. Formula Synchron. For my 7, I play 1 Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. I love this card. It's got me out of some tight spaces. It gains 100 attack and defense for each zombie on the field or the graveyards. When a zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a zombie from either graveyard, which is cool. So with Zombie World out, he's a monster. Like if your opponent has a loaded graveyard and you do, he'll gain attack for all of them. And then when you destroy their zombie monster by battle, you can special summon one from their grave, or that monster from the grave, or one from your grave. So, really good. I think it's still a card that should be played. And then I'm playing 1 Cypher, Lord Omega. It's a good card in this deck. I've been debating between him and then Shiranui not Solitaire. What is the name of that guy? Samurai Saga, I believe it is. Or the Shiranui Saga. Shogun Saga. Sorry, guys. The Shiranui Shogun Saga. You can banish a monster from the grave, a zombie monster from the grave, and he'll gain that much attack. So he's kind of just a big beater to get over things, which is good because there's a lot of monsters in today's game where they can only be destroyed by battle. But Omega's good in the deck because during the main phase you can banish him, and then you can banish a random card from your opponent's hand face up. So you can, I believe it's still until your next standby phase. You can do it during your opponent's turn, so you can knock something out of their hand. He'll be safe and he'll come back. Or you can target a banished monster during your opponent's standby phase and return to the graveyard. So you can put back your Blooms, your Banshees, anything you banish, your Mizukis. So he's also good in that aspect, and he's a 28 beater, so he's not bad. The reason why I went with him over Shogun Saga is you don't normally synchro into your 8s. So honestly, when you do go into him, it's going to be for a specific situation, which he's good in a lot more situations than the Shogun Saga is. And then my last 2 monsters are my Super Poly targets. I just play 2 Drago Necro Nether Soul Dragon, which is a really good card. Honestly, he's just there to get rid of 2 monsters Super Poly, but he can be destroyed by battle. or monsters can't be destroyed by battle this card, and then if you battled a monster that has original level, you can make attack 0 and then special summon a token with the same attack and defense, which is cool. So, and the level matches it. So like you can bash into some like big boss monster, make it 0, and then get a token that's that big that can attack, which is really cool. So he is good. But yeah, great super poly target. Just makes it so you can get over anything since Zombie World makes them all zombies. That's my deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed the profile. I really like the deck. I know it's not like a lot of people's. Last time I made a zombie deck, people didn't like it as much, or a lot of the comments were that I wasn't playing. I was playing some bad ratios. I really enjoy how my deck's been running, but as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I still like hearing guys' suggestions, even if they were different than what I was playing last time. I enjoyed them. So, yeah. See you guys next time.